We now invite you to join us for part 28 of the conference titled The First Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress, held in the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates on December 7, 2010, with Thomas Sherpka from the International Federation of Organic Agriculture, which promotes organic agriculture around the world for the benefit of people and the long-term sustainability of our planet.
The last workshop today by Lo is going to begin just right now. So if any of you would like to also take a look at the smoothies that he's making, so it'll just be starting now. All right. Our next speaker, Thomas, I'd like to share a bit of information about him. Thomas has a master's in agriculture. He worked for 5 years for the German pioneer fair trade company JIPA. And for about 14 years, he's been with IFOAM in different management functions, etc. So please put your hands together for Thomas.
First of all, I'd like to thank the team who is broadcasting this session to the world. And I thank all the volunteers doing that, because I tried myself for the International Federation of Organic Agriculture, where I'm working to include a few members to our side event last Friday in Cancun, when we were talking about the organic agriculture effects on climate change, and it was quite difficult. The bandwidth was a problem, and I admire very much that this is possible here, so thank you very much for that. So why I am here, I like to bring the message to you how your products are produced, where the fruits and vegetables come from matters. I like to speak a word for organic agriculture being the most sustainable method, and not only that, being even the most economic way of producing food, not only in the future but also now. So I have a little bit, for those who are not very familiar with the concept, like to go into what is organic. Secondly, I have the major challenges, what is going on with agriculture. It's a very important piece to know. Then we will discuss the concept of sustainability. And then we come to the true pricing. That is a very important discussion, because we heard in this room this morning, organic cosmetics, organic products have a premium. They're a bit more expensive than others. So I'd like to address this topic. I have an example from Egypt. The company and project is called Seachem. And I'd like to give you the final conclusion. So the International Federation of Organic Agriculture movement exists now 38 years. And our mission is to make the world organic. And there are a few components which are important in this regard. That is on 3 columns: ecology, social justice, and economy. Those are the items which build the fundament and the background of organic. And that is why the method is the most sustainable agricultural method and even lifestyle in the world. What is the definition? And the definition seems a bit long here. I read you the most important parts. Organic agriculture is a production system that sustains the health of soils, ecosystem, and people. People before commodities, that's important. We talk about people. It relies on ecological processes, biodiversity and nutrition, energy and water cycles adapted to the local conditions, rather than on the use of inputs with adverse effects. You know what is meant by that one. Chemical inputs and pesticides, mostly. Organic agriculture combines 3 things: tradition, innovation, and science, to benefit the shared environment and promote fair relationships and a good quality of life for all involved. What can you have better? We have defined with our membership, we have 750 members in 120 countries all about, the principles of organic agriculture. We have defined 4 in the process of 18 months, finally voted upon by our membership. We found health, ecology, fairness, and care as the most important pieces. And I invite you to come to our booth, which is here in the same hall, but also on our website, to read those in detail. Organic agriculture is more than just covering market demands. It's not just a trend or a fashion. It's a concept and is sustainability put into practice. We have achieved already quite some growth all over the planet. You find organic production. 1 million hectares are converted it's growing and the sales are going up. However, our potential is not well recognized all over the place yet. We have a few reports acknowledging what we did, including the recent World Agricultural Report, which is called IASTD. They are acknowledging sustainable and organic agriculture as the best method to move forward. However, quite a lot of way to go means we need people like you, ambassadors for moving to the better, who bring it to the people who decide, who manage all those processes globally. IFORM alone cannot move it with the stuff we have. We have just 15 people in the head office in Bonn, plus our members. That will not work alone. So we need everybody who is aware of the changes needed to move it forward. What are the challenges? Just the major ones. We have the challenge about food security, climate change, biodiversity, sustainable resources, water and soil. So conventional agriculture and our concepts address it in a different way. The top scandal in the world is hunger. And we heard it this morning, GMOs have been created to fight hunger. Where are we? We are going up with hungry people in the world. 1 billion people are hungry now, every day. At the same time, we have 130 to 140% food production. So what? How can that be? Everybody is talking about moving the world for more kind of sustainability. GMOs are praising the idea to feed the world. Where are they? They are not feeding the world. It's not true. So the problem of hunger is not the production that we can see now. Of course, we have to see the future, but now it's not working. We are not able to feed the world with the food we have. There are different reasons for that. Let us where they are based. You see different areas of the world have a major problem with it. But also, who? So we come as a movement to the point that small farmers are the most suffering, but also the most important stakeholder group when we talk about nourishing the world. They are where the food is produced. They need to nourish their families. And they go to the market with their products. So the smallholders are on focus for the development we think is important for the future of the earth. Why? Small farmers are the bulk producers of global food. It's like it is. It's not industrial production. Of course, you can see where the main hectares are. When I talk small farmers, I mean farmers which have less than 2 hectares of land. They are the stewards to take care of environment as much as they know, and we know that specifically traditional agriculture carries a lot of knowledge to protect nature. We have lost it over the years. Before, it was very clear that nature is our buddy. We cannot even damage it because it's ours. With the industrialized agriculture approach, we have lost this knowledge, and we treat the earth like a different component of the economy, but not as ours. Higher sustainable productivity increase will have a major impact on poverty reduction. So the relation between small farmers and poverty is obvious. Now, where to go? And I like to quote Albert Einstein with the idea, you cannot solve the problem with the same thinking you have created the problem. Mahatma Gandhi said the same. The concept is also simple. We call it sustainability, and it means development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. In a way, a very simple logic, easy to follow. Unfortunately, misused for flying with airplanes. Everybody is using this word. And of course, you have to be careful when you listen to the concept. We can discuss it later. Here's just one way to try to measure sustainability. It's a Swiss study which compares different ways of agriculture here and different aspects of sustainability. It's about food security, economy, working conditions, product quality, natural resources, animal welfare, biodiversity, climate change. And you see different approaches have different lines here. Not go into detail, just to make you aware that is available. You can go for moving it forward. From the discussion in Cancun, I'd like to share you one question about sustainability in regard to climate change. There's a study available from 2008 that says organic agriculture has the potential to reduce CO2 concentration in the atmosphere by this and this amount of gigatons. And that means to reduce the whole emission of agriculture by half or even more. So that's one little aspect in a way. Not carbon alone will count for the future of our planet, but it's one aspect you should take into consideration when we talk about sustainability. The other one is, of course, the yields. And we are aware of it, that there are different areas which produce different yields in the world. There are studies out which give different figures in the developed, so-called developed world and the developing world. You have a little bit of loss of yield in the developed world, while you can gain half or even more of your production, up to doubling, when you are in an extensive situation producing food. Therefore, this report I already mentioned earlier, the World Agricultural Report, IASTD, recommends organic agriculture and sustainable agriculture due to the better land management, crop management, and also because we are supporting the small farmers. There are other studies which show a slightly different approach from 2006. FAO is even quoting it now. Shows organic has reached the level of discussion. When I started in IFOM, we knocked the door of FAO. They have not even opened us. You know, now we are there. We are even organizing events in their rooms in Rome about food security and agriculture. And this is, I think, is because of also your work on the ground that is moving forward. Because organic cannot be neglected anymore as sustainable method in agriculture. However, when we talk about food, it is depending a lot on politics, policies, and also prices, not just yield. As I mentioned, we have enough now, we have enough food on the globe, but still billions of people are hungry. So the discussion about the price. I will come to an example from Sechem. This is just about the principle. Our prices are made on the markets. And what are the markets counting for? They are counting for not the full price, not the true price, but they have a specific mechanism to count for prices. What should be considered as a concept is the polluter pays. Why should I, as a taxpayer in Germany, pay for getting drinking water cleaned up after the companies or the farmers using pesticides have polluted my water? Why should I do that? Why they are not charged before, because they are polluters, by a tax on pesticides? Because then I'm out, then they pay. That would lift the price for conventional products significantly. It's not done. It's not the wish of those who govern the system. Not yet. Maybe we come there in the future. So one thing is governments need to support that, and we are here in an area where we see support. Just one example from Germany, the highest court last week or the week before confirmed that this principle should be in place, despite the fact that the companies and the multinational pressured very much to open it up and to convert it the other way around, that those who are polluted need to prove that they are polluted. Now it's the other way around. The polluter has to pay, and therefore there will be no GMO coming to Germany because of that, because they know the risk. It's very expensive for them. As soon as it's expensive for them, they will not do that. Taxes I already mentioned on pesticides and fertilizers, that would be the easiest way to go for it. The lobby is not there yet, so be my lobby. Help us to go there all over the globe. This is the way to make it cleaner.
Even a dog or a rat person will go down in history as a lifesaver hero, but you, warmonger, you will go down in history as a bloodthirsty vampire, perhaps.
Faithful viewers, thank you for your presence today for the first Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress on Words of Wisdom.